Another Divorce Workshop Live. Today we're talking with Anastasia. We're going to talk about the spikes in divorce. Interesting topic. Also, I want to mention that go to divorceworkshop.ca and we have a 22 free page excerpt of our new Just Separated workbook. Good morning.
Good morning, and happy belated New Year.
Yeah, happy belated New Year to you.
How are you doing?
I hope you're warmer than we are here.
We are this week in Florida. We had a chill, but not as cold as you in Canada.
Yeah, we've been cold. So I love this topic. It's pretty popular right now because it's January.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, just give a brief bio of who you are and what you do.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Anastasia Frangakis, and I am the founder of the Seraphim Life Coach. And what I specialize in is relationships and divorce transitions and recovery. So I help independent women go through the divorce process and any troublesome relationship that they may be experiencing, and so that they have a better outcome at the end.
Awesome. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the spikes, but before, I just have two stats I want to give out. So actually, University of Washington in 2016 said divorce filing peaks in March and August, which kind of we'll be talking about because it's not just January, it's January, February, March. And the other one, the American Sociological Society, said the Google searches for divorce increase in January. So I just want to mention those two. And to be honest with everybody, I'm a February divorce person. So I don't know about you. When did you file? Did you file anytime after?
I filed in the first 3 months as well. I don't remember. It's been over 20 years, but I don't remember the exact month. But I remember that I had left in the middle of the year my relationship and moved to another state. Getting home.
Sorry, you just cut out there for a minute.
So. Oh, I apologize. I said I had left in the middle of the year, and it took me about 6 months to get my ducks in a row to file.
Yeah, but it does seem to be pretty common, and we have lots of reasons why.
Yes.
Why it does seem to happen more so than any other year. I think it's also obviously University of Washington says it's in August too, and I'm assuming that's because the kids are on holiday. So there is that important factor, correct?
That is one of the factors what we'll discuss this morning as well. But the first one is, when people go through the holidays, they have that reflection and they're getting ready to start the new year, and they also don't want to disrupt the family time over the holidays, but they're thinking that they're going to make any transition in the beginning of the year. So that is one factor.
Yeah, I think I knew when that, like last Christmas, I knew. Like I knew, I remember sitting there and I remember saying, yep, this is going to be my last holiday season with this person. So
yeah. I was the same way.
It's pretty common. Like I've heard this with many other people. So yeah, I think also sometimes also when you're going through the holiday season, it can even make it more the reason why you want to file after, right? Like it can increase tension.
Family dynamics, getting involved with your in-laws, where are you going to spend the holidays, with your family or their family, or are you going to keep the family intact, and things like that. So there's a lot of factors. Yeah.
So what's the other ones we have?
New Year's resolutions, like I want to be happy moving forward, or I want to get divorced, like they've already made the decision, or just, starting anew. So there's a lot there. It's a good time for, people start diets and they want to unpurge their life. And I don't like to say that, divorce is a purge, but it is, if you're in an unhappy marriage, those things weigh very heavily on your shoulders. And it's hard to find that festive mood when you're going through the holidays and you're thinking, okay, for the new year, everything's going to kind of level out and I'll start the process. Of course, going through the divorce process is a roller coaster ride. of emotions, even when you are the one who is initiating it, because there are some unforeseen emotions that will pop up, like, you know, grief and loss, even
Guilt.
if you're happy because you've been with this person for however many number of years.
Yeah, and it's something ending of the year to a new year. You know, it's just, and even for taxation and filing, right? Like for your,
Yeah,
like
your
there's even the practical
finances.
side, your finance,
Yes.
like even the practical side, right?
Right, and a lot of people will receive bonuses at the end of the year. Sometimes they'll get them in the beginning of the following year, but they'll earn a bonus. And it's just a good time to separate your finances from, for example, 2024 to 2025. You'll say, you know, married filing separate. If the tax, you know, that tax year comes in April in the U.S. for us, that's one option that they have. So it kind of delineates their financial, it kind of presets the tone before the divorce.
Me personally, I think it was I wanted to give my kids one last Christmas together. So that was that. And then I knew when we filed in January, February, March, that probably we wouldn't transition homes or change homes until summer. So
Mm-hmm.
then it would, I thought, and I'm thinking I'm pretty sure this is the same way of why they're spiking in January, February, March, because by the time things get settled more so, the kids in the summer break, and then you can, you know, it's just, it's also for the kids' sake, as we talked about at the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. And this kind of segues something off topic, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of parents are, even when they file, choose to live together because of the state of finances.
Mm-hmm.
They will choose to cohabitate in separate rooms or
Yep.
whatever works for them. And then, you know, go through the divorce process. And then
Yep.
once it's finalized, actually, you know, gives both spouses time to save money, get their financial house in order, and things like that.
Yeah, that's kind of a, because of the cost of living, uh, there more people are doing that, right? I just want to mention too that people should probably make sure they have an interim parenting plan
Yes.
if they're going to do that, right? If they're going to, and I had to do that. I didn't know back then about interim parenting plan because we didn't know anything when I was going through. Like there was no podcast, no coaches, nothing.
Right.
But it is important that if you can kind of start setting your parenting plan, if you're living in the same house, and that can happen for a while for a lot of couples, right? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good point. Thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
good. So that transition us into the timing for the children, right?
Mm-hmm.
While you're setting up that co-parenting plan, that'll give kids, you know, the time to get through August or, you know, June, July, when their school gets done. You have everything identified, who's going to get which children, you know, the children during weekends or during the week and things like that.
Yeah, that's almost another live, right? Because being in that situation, you have to have certain, you know, we could talk about that for 20 minutes about making sure you have the proper boundaries and making sure you're respecting his privacy space and figuring out your finances while you're all living together and stuff. So it, you know, we can also talk about that another time because
Exactly.
it happens a lot. Yeah.
It does happen more frequently today than I think ever so in the
Mm-hmm.
past.
Mm-hmm. I
Mm-hmm.
agree. Is there any other? I also want to point out, like another thing was that, you know, even if you want to get divorced during the holidays, probably the court systems aren't open, or lawyers are away, or mediators are away, whatever. So it's not even really possible,
Or
right? Because things
to
really
get
shut
an
down.
appointment,
Yeah,
to get the appointments,
yeah,
yeah, for
yeah.
that guidance.
So I just,
That's why divorce coaches are so, like the work that you and I do are so important to couples, you know, facing this challenge, because we help them strategize their plan.
mhm. Yeah, that's why it's so important that the word gets out there because as I said, I had no idea what I was like, what going through divorce is really about, right? And it's common that unless you've been through it, you don't know. So it's not to blame anybody. It's just to say like I was pretty naive with everything that it involved.
And in going through everybody's divorce is different. So when you consult family or friends, they're not
Hmm.
going to give you the best advice that a coach will, because we're schooled
Yeah,
in the divorce process. So we've worked with so many people that we bring a whole different depth and scope to the coaching.
yeah. it's just a different, it's a must needed thing, even if it's just 1 or 2 sessions. It doesn't have to be 10, 15 sessions.
Exactly.
You know, yeah. People are under the assumption that
or ad hoc sessions as needed, you know, 1
yeah,
or 2 sessions to get you out the door, and then, you know, as you need that emotional support during the process, you can always check in with your coach. That's so wise.
Yeah. Because I always say I would have benefited from at least 2 at the beginning, just to kind of say, this is what, because I had no idea, right? Like I've said many times, but is there anything else?
And through mediation as well, you know, when you're going through that process, we help through that as well. I had a client from Montana who she just said, I just want to be my best self when I go to the table, you know, and
it's empowering them.
It is empowering, yes.
Because that type of thing can be very nerve-wracking for many. Because I had a client too, and I talked to her an hour right before mediation, just to get her, you know, feeling in a better spot and headspace before she went in. So
sure, get them emotionally prepared.
Is there anything else that has come up? We've talked about a lot: post-holiday reflections and family first, tax considerations, financial, timing, seasonal stress. I know over Christmas it can be very, very stressful time. Holidays are, you know, as much as we all like it, it is a stressful time. So putting a divorce on top of that is probably why a lot of us just delayed as well, because we have so much going on anyways. And putting a divorce on top right before during Christmas would be really much more stressful.
And
so that also could be
the time to go out and splurge on all the gifts. You know, that's about making those holidays about family and faith.
Yeah.
If you're a faith-based person.
Yeah. Good point. Right. So, yeah. So, is there any other things you want to add of why we spike?
No, I think that's it. And people are familiar with us from various podcasts that we've done, so they know that the work we do and how we help. And I just want to state that from now till Valentine's Day, I have some coaching package specials. So please contact me to partake in those. They're a really great deal. And have a beautiful day.
Yeah, and thanks for coming on. I knew this would be a good but a short one, because but it's important to know, because I don't want people to feel like they're alone in you know, it's everybody says January, but it's actually, I think as you said too, it's the quarter, right? It's January, February, March, and that it's pretty common, and you will get through it, and you're not alone. So if anybody has any questions, put them in. Otherwise, I hope to have you back on, and have a good day, and take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.